I'm proud of our football team, the way they have competed all season. And we have a very resilient, tight-knit group that never quits. And even when we lost four one-possession games by 4.8 points this season, our coaches, our players, they never stopped fighting, never stopped believing in each other. We just kept digging. And we have a lot more room to improve, as you guys well know that. But we're thrilled to represent Appalachian State in the Sun Belt Championship game. And, Troy is a great football team. And I have a tremendous amount of respect for John Summerall, the way he runs his program, the kind of man he is. Um, John's a good friend of mine in the conference. And we would talk throughout the season. And then I called him Sunday morning to see how he was doing. And his son answered the phone and said, "I hope you lose." So it's going to be a lot of fun going against a good friend. So we're looking forward to it.
I appreciate that, Coach. We'll start off with Chris Vanini with the Athletic.
Hey, Coach. Yeah, I just wanted to ask about the second half of the season. What specifically kind of on the field you guys have seen turn around? I know you get a lot of tackles for loss.
I can't hear you.
Oh, can you hear me or no? I got bad service here.
Yeah, I hear you now.
Okay, yeah, sorry about that. You mentioned it, the good fit, the strong finish to the season. What do you kind of attribute that to, especially on the field? I know you guys have racked up the negative plays and had some good starts offensively.
Well, I thought we had a really good football team, even early in the season when we lost some close games. That we were still young in some areas, and we started making plays, started learning how to win those close games, and we did make some changes throughout the year on defense. We've changed our defensive package, and we went all in on it. It was like playing Texas Hold'em against Southern Miss. It was going to be really, really good or really, really bad, and we had to find a way to get our best players from the field at all times. And we started playing faster and more confident. And I think you could see that through the latter part of the season that our kids are having fun playing football again.
We'll go over to Skip Foreman. Skip.
Good morning, Coach, and congratulations on the win on Saturday and the championship game ahead. A question regarding the post game after beating Georgia Southern, and you were surrounded by family. And you mentioned that in the middle of the season, things were a little tough for not only you and the team, but your family. Can you go into that a little bit? Just how tough was it to be a coach and be a family man, and then enduring the things you said that you
Yeah, I'll answer that question. When you coach at Appalachian or you play at Appalachian, that you have high expectations. And when things aren't going well, it's hard on your family. My family lives this with me. My wife, my kids were invested in this program, in this town. And when things aren't going good, it's rough. They hear it at school, they hear it in the community, and we just got a little tighter. And it was good to see. And my family travels everywhere with me to away games. My son, I think it's important. I think it's life lessons to your kids that, when things are tough and you just don't quit, you keep fighting. And I thought that was a really good lesson for our players, but more importantly, my family, because it's one of those life lessons you have to get through sometimes. And winning is hard, and life is not fair. It's not easy. But I wanted to make sure my family is always around.
What challenge did that present for you as a coach and as a dad and a husband?
Well, challenges was as a coach, when you play here, there's the expectations are winning. This is an expectation every single year. And this conference, it's not easy to win. And that's what it's not the old Sun Belt. When I was here in the Sun Belt, when I first got into it, we could show up and win 8 football games. And now it's week in and week out. You have to fight for your life in 4 quarters. And this is the challenges of being a dad. Again, you are a husband and a dad first. I truly believe that. And when we spend time, I take my kids to school every single morning. And I tuck them in bed every single night. And you have to have those kind of conversations with your kids that people say stuff at school. They're uninformed people and not worry about it. So I just thought it was great for everyone to come together as one, our team, or my family, our App State football family, and get through this together. And that's probably what I'm most proud of, the way we came together, pulled ourselves out of a hole, and now we have a chance to play for a conference championship.
Thank you, Coach.
We'll go over to Alvaro Torres. Alvaro.
Hi, Coach Clark. First, congratulations on your 5-game winning streak and your championship game berth. And second, well, first, what stands you the most to you out of Coach Sumrall? Out of what Coach Sumrall has been able to do with this program, with his program, as they have hosted the conference title game in the 2 seasons he has been there.
Yeah, Coach Summerall is a great football coach, and if you know John on a personal level, I think his team has taken on that persona. I mean, they're tough, they're disciplined, they play the game the right way, they don't beat themselves. You look at the players they have. I mean, they have a great quarterback, 2 great receivers. Their offensive line is fantastic. On defense, man, they can really rush the passer, stop the run. So there's a reason why they're 10-2, and they won it last year, and they're back in the championship game this year. Again, all the credit goes to Coach Summerall and his coaches and his players for having a great season. I mean, we watched tape last night and early this morning. There are not any holes in it. They're not going to get beat. They're not going to beat themselves. They don't make stupid penalties to continue drives. So, I mean, this is going to be a great football game. It's going to be a challenge for us to go down there in a hostile environment. We played it before. They have a great fan base, great support from the students. But it's one of those games that when you play at this level, you want to play for conference championships. You want to play in those kind of environments. And we've played pretty well on the road this far.
Well, Troy's defense allows the least yards per game and points per game in the conference. What would you say makes them so strong in that area?
They have great players, a great scheme. Greg Gasparotto was a coach here when I was a coach at App, assistant coach. Their defensive line coach, Ray McDaniel, I coached him in college at Purdue. I helped him get in the profession here at App, so I know what kind of coach he is, what kind of person he is. Again, great players make you great football coaches. And they have great players, and it's easy to draw up on a piece of paper on the board and show tape. But unless you have great players, you're not going to be a great football coach. And they have both great players and great coaches.
Well, my second to last question: what does it mean for your program to have made the conference championship game in 4 of the last 6 seasons since it was established?
It's important. It's important because we talk about this in the recruiting process with our recruits, that you have a chance to play for championships. It shows that we have the right things in place to have sustained success. Our athletic director gives us everything we need to be successful. I think it goes to show you what kind of players we recruit. We recruit the right kind of kids that fit our culture and fit App State, and we'll continue to do that.
Well, my last question is that would you prefer a neutral site game, championship game like the MAC, SEC, or ACC, or you like that one team hosted because the traditions that are already established continue?
I really haven't put much thought into that. I wish we were playing in Boone, but that's up to the Commissioner Gill. Like I said, we're very fortunate. We're excited to be in the championship game versus Troy this weekend.
Thank you, Coach, for your time, and good luck on Saturday against Troy.
Thank you.
I'll go over to Chris. Chris, please go ahead.
Coach, kind of a follow-up to the line of questioning from Skip. Your players also hear all that outside noise, but you've praised their ability to block out the noise all season long. What does that look like, and how do they do that in this age of social media and being so accessible to so many people?
It's a challenge. That's the first thing you do when our kids do when they wake up in the morning time. They look at their phone, and the last thing they do, they look at their phone before they go to bed. And that's just the day and age we live in. But we did have a discussion after the Old Dominion game. I told them that get off social media because they're going to beat myself up. They're going to beat you up as players. But we had to go back to really what mattered, and that was us. And in that locker room, we knew we had a really good football team. Anytime you take North Carolina double overtime on the road, you're in Wyoming, you're up 5 to kick a field goal to make it an 8-point game, and it's blocked to run it back for a touchdown. And we lost we had the ball in the fourth quarter against Coastal to win it. We fumbled, and then Old Dominion, we had a chance to tie it in the fourth. So we knew we had a great football team, and it just took some time. Again, we're coming in with our backup quarterback came in the first game after Ryan was hurt. We had some inexperienced tackles that had played. The secondary was inexperienced in some ways, and we had to take some hard lessons throughout the course of the season. And I think our players handled it well. I mean, they believed in one another. They knew what they had to do to win. They believed in their coaches. And I think if you have both of those, players believe in each other, your coaches believe in the players, that you have a chance to win football games. And we've won some big football games this year, and we've lost some tough ones. But they're going against great football teams, and it's hard to win.
You mentioned Joey and starting the season as the backup, if only for a half. But now he's on the cusp. He's within striking distance of the conference touchdown pass record. What does he do Monday through Friday that's allowed him to be so successful?
Joey's not very good. So, no, I'm just kidding. It's just the way he's kind of Joey is. He has the same temperament at all times. He doesn't matter if he throws a touchdown or throws a pick. He doesn't get too high, doesn't get too low. He's learned how to go through his progressions. He has a strong and talented arm. He can throw it from hash to numbers, opposite side of the field. But he learned that a kick is a good thing sometimes, to kick the ball away, to live in another series and not force balls. And this past week, he checked the ball down when I wasn't there, and those check downs become first downs. And but he's got more confident and more comfortable in being a leadership role. Our players have rallied behind him. He's really dispersing the ball around every game. 7, 8 different receivers are catching the ball. His offensive line times are blocking well for him. But just the game is slowing down for him some right now.
Appreciate it, Coach.
We'll go over to Joseph. Joseph.
Hey, Coach. Continuing the line of questioning about Joey, through these next 2 games that you guys have with the title game and the bowl game, what's something that you want to see him get a little bit better at?
Well, again, the decision making is always important. The leadership role of being the quarterback, and those are things you have to improve on a daily basis. It's not weekly basis. And but again, no one knew about Joey until really the first or second game after he started having some success, and just the way he's kept a level headed. I mean, he's Joey at all times. He doesn't get too high, doesn't get low, but just going through his progression, been a great leader, been a great teammate. I think is something some of the positives that he has. But we all have something to improve on each week, and I think those 3 things would be what I would say.
As he's grown more comfortable in that leadership role that you mentioned throughout the season, what has it been like to kind of see his teammates and the other players on the team kind of rally around this guy who wasn't expected to be in this position when you guys went into fall camp?
It's good to see just how our players, I mean, he's always talking. It doesn't matter who it is on our football team. He could be the starting receiver or the last guy on the team. He's just that he has that persona, that gift to people that people want to be around him, and the way he treats people on our team, the way he treats people in our community. He's became a fan favorite, but that's because of him and how he goes out and plays the game and how he represents himself on a daily basis.
Defensively, Coach, how do you prepare for a guy like Kamani Vidal?
It's hard. Yeah, we're still in the early phases of game planning right now, but they have several weapons on their team. And then, as a former line coach, that's the first thing you look at. And again, they are really good up front, great tight ends, great running backs, receivers, quarterbacks playing very well. So we'll have a better answer for you as the week goes on, but we'll have to play our very best game to have a chance to win on Saturday.
And last one for me, since we've adopted the early signing period, what are the next, couple of weeks going to look like for you as preparing for this game, the bowl game, and then dealing with the recruiting schedule going to be like for you guys in the next month or so?
No, it's going to be hectic. The one thing that we want to be in a championship game every single year, but this week a lot of teams are it's a dead period. You're off the road. You're doing exit interviews. You're getting your plans ready to go recruiting. So this week is gone. And then, depending on when we play the bowl game, we might only get 3 days to go out and recruit next week, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. Then we get into bowl prep. So, and then the portal was wide open. So, luckily we have a great recruiting department here with Thomas Gary does a great job, but it's going to be full speed ahead, and that's the life we live right now. I wish I had a better answer for you. Depending on when we play the 16th or 23rd could change things, but we have 2 different game plans right now. Actually, 3 game plans for what bowl game we could be going to, and we'll have a better answer for that on Sunday. But the one word is going to be busy.
Thanks, Coach.
And we'll go over to Sam. Sam?
Coach, you talked a lot about, the 4-1 possession losses early in the season, but how big was it to get the 1 possession win over JMU in overtime a couple weeks ago for the confidence of the team and really to just continue the win streak you guys have going into the champ game?
Well, Coach McNay has a great program up there in Harrisonburg, and we were very fortunate. That was a great college football game versus 2 great schools, and big time atmosphere. College game day was there on set. That makes us 2 years in a row we've had college game day in our conference. We've been fortunate enough to be on both games and win both games. But whenever you can go into an opponent's and go to a visiting team and win on the road versus a ranked opponent, it's big for your confidence. And we walked out of that game knowing that we had a good team going into it, but that just gave us the verification that, listen, we can go play versus the very best in our conference and win on the road. And that's only going to do is build confidence for the future.